start off with first saying I didn't know that this movie was directed by Denzel Washington. Guess I gotta do more research next time. But, oh well. Fences.
It's not easy for me to admit that I've been standing in the same place for 18 years.
Well, I've been standing with you. I gave 18 years of my life to stand in the same spot as you.
And like I said before, this movie is directed by Denzel Washington, as well as it stars Denzel Washington and Viola Davis. And this movie is based off of a play of the same name. It's about Denzel Washington, who plays a father who's trying to raise a family and having to deal with all the struggles with being black in the 1950s. And first off, let me say that this is one of those movies where the trailer does not mislead what the movie is. If you saw the trailer, basically what I got from it is that it's filled with a whole bunch of dialogue and it's really nothing that happens up in there, no dire situation. So if you go into this movie expecting that, you're going to be sadly disappointed. And this movie is more of a conversation driven than everything that's revolving around the characters. And the best way that I could put it is like, you know how when you watch a movie and then there's a minute long conversation between people and then you go to the next scene and then there's a short conversation, go to the next scene. This movie incorporates all of that conversation. But in saying all that, let's get to the good and the bad because every movie has them. And the things that I liked about this movie is the acting. I mean, you have Viola Davis as well as Denzel Washington playing off of each other. If that doesn't scream phenomenal, I don't know what does. What they delivered with these characters, the good and the bad, it was just mind-blowing and not totally unexpected, but at the same time, you still are amazed, as well as the chemistry between the characters. With the relationships, the good and the bad, from the father and the son, the father and the wife, and just everybody that's up in this movie. And let me not even count out everybody else who acted up in this movie. Everyone else did an amazing job as well. And just with bringing these relationships and characters and the chemistry between all of them to life to make you want to sit there and see more of these characters interact with each other. And this also goes with the acting. They bring out the intensity of these characters, whether it's excitement, anger, sadness. It's like you feel it. You feel the emotions every time something like that happens. And in that sense, it's like extremely eventful and very powerful. And the other thing that I did like about this movie is that when you get the point of views from different characters about different situations and different conversations, you go back and forth with, okay, I agree with what he's saying, but also I agree with what he's saying, and I agree with what she's saying, but I disagree with what she's saying. And you go back and forth throughout the movie, and it's not anything bad. You do that in real life, and with these characters, you get their points of views. You understand why they say what they say, why they are the way they are, and why they act and do the things that they do. You sit there and you basically go through your own morals as like, what would you do? What would you think in this situation? How would you feel if this was happening to you, if you was said character? And that came off so good when it came to this movie. Every movie has its bad. I could say the one thing that I didn't like was really just the length. I mean, it didn't bother me too much, but it does get lengthy. So if you're not a fan of long conversations and just really nothing too much happening and just the movie being longer than what you probably think it should be, this movie isn't for you because it's basically all about the conversation, the connection between characters, as well as it's long. It's like 2 hours, a little bit over 2 hours. So after a while, I got kind of antsy wanting to get up out of there and just thinking like, okay, when is this movie going to end? But at the same time, I left this movie thinking like, yo, it had me thinking about it on the way home of how just powerful like it was just by watching these characters and everything that they were going through, the struggles and the good times and everything. And like I said, it's based off of a play and it shows because the environment, it looks like a play. It only takes place in like a few places, and just the way it looks, you get that vibe. It's like this is a play, but it's just shot as a movie. And there's nothing bad about that because it worked for it. And so overall, I think you guys should go ahead and check out this movie. This movie was really good. Like I said, it was very impactful and it was very powerful. The acting was on par. The only thing I can say that was slightly kind of a dislike was just the length and just long conversation, which I didn't mind it after a while because you get into what they were talking about and then the situations and, you know, their points of view. But at the same time, you can consider that as something that if a lot of people aren't used to that, this movie isn't for them. But overall, like I said, this This movie is amazing, amazing acting, just the story and everything and how it goes all the way from the beginning to the end. Everything in between is so good. And I recommend you go see this. If you know somebody that will probably like something like this would be the perfect movie to go and take them to go see, because I guarantee that they will find enjoyment out of this, especially if they like plays. They would really love this one. And I give this movie 2 tickets. It's worth seeing twice. And that's all I really got to say up on this. So, with that said, I'd like to thank you guys for joining me on this Take One movie review of the movie Fences. Go ahead and hit that like button. Comment if you've seen it. What did you think? Go ahead and share this as well. Subscribe to it. Turn on your notifications so that when I drop a new video or a new podcast, you will get that notification and you get to see the video first. As well as listen to my podcast. I'm going to start uploading more podcasts. I haven't did those in a while as well. But, go ahead and check those out. And thank you for joining me on this movie review. So I'll catch you guys later. Peace.